Good evening, everybody. Good evening. This is Cutler here on the Let's Talk the Cutler program. It is January 7th, 2021, and I'm excited to be here with you. I'm only here for 1,800 seconds, and whatever space you allow me to share, I'm thankful for that. Whether it's your living room, your dining room, your kitchen, your front porch, your back porch, your side porch, your car, if you're driving safely, I'm thankful for being able to share this space with you. You all know I show up here every Tuesday and Thursday for 1,800 seconds. Every Tuesday, I'm reading our quotes for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Every Thursday, I'm reading our quotes for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Then, when it comes to the quote for Saturday, it's all day your way. You can use it to start a discussion, to start your meditation, or whatever you choose to use it for. I'm just thankful that we're here, that we're sharing this space, we're sharing this time together. And as I consider what is happening in this country of ours, Lord, I'm thankful for our opportunity to become better. There's so many opportunities for us to become better along this highway of life. That's why we are here every Tuesday, every Thursday. We're reading from this book here. It's called Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Inspiration and Motivation Along the Highway of Life. You all, there's so many opportunities for us to get better. That's what it's all about. We're made better for our journey, our time to spend together. And so we're going to get started with our conversation in just a few moments. But do me a favor, if you will. Go ahead and do a thumbs up on the conversation. Go ahead and say to YouTube, I like what they're talking about on that channel. And it encourages me to let me know that you all are thankful for our time that we spend together. Listen, hello to all of you. I will shout out our LTTC VIPs in just a moment. But do me another favor too. When you get a chance, talk about this channel, talk about this platform. Tell somebody else to come on over and watch Let's Talk the Cutler every Tuesday and Thursday at 8 o'clock. All right. I hope that you all are doing well. I hope that the new year is finding you well. I know some of us have already come into this new year with challenges, but I hope and pray that everybody is doing well, that you're doing fine. Let's see. And what I want to do is go ahead and shout out our VIPs, our LTTC VIPs for the evening, and that would be Hattie Boone, Annie Cutler, and Jackie Cares RN. I hope that everybody's doing okay. And a special hello and I love you to Yvonne Jones. Who knows? I might just shout out everybody who just comes on. I don't know. I might not. But anyway, you all, you know we're reading from this book, and today is January 7th. So we're going to read January 7th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. All right, that's what we're going to read January 6th, 7th, and 8th. And I'm not going to keep you long. Why? Because I have to make every minute meaningful, every moment matter, and every second significant. So we'll get to 1,800 seconds, a journey we're about to take this evening. So let's go on and look at January 6th. January 6th, you all, a day that's going to go down in the history of our country. It's one of the darkest days in its history. It will do that. But for us, it's going to be a day for us to have inspiration, motivation, and challenge to become better. All right. I want to go to this quote. It says, stop bragging about telling the truth. And do me a favor, come on over into the chat. I know some of you are watching, but come on over into the chat. And if you don't know how to join the chat by now, here's what you can do. You can email me at talk2cutler, talk and the number two, Cutler at gmail.com. Talk to Cutler at gmail.com. I want to hear from you. And I sometimes throughout this saying this quote, I want to hear from my friends. So feel free to shoot me an email and let me know how you're enjoying the broadcast. Or come back after the broadcast and just put comments there and I'll read them, I'll respond to them, and I'll respond to you. All right. January 6th, and a good evening to Sylvia and Raydella as well. January 6th says, stop bragging about telling the truth while lying about being transparent. Let me read the anecdote, you all. Just because you tell the truth, that doesn't mean you're being transparent. This is going to challenge us like no other quote we've had so far. Truth, hear this, is the veracity, the truthfulness of the part of the story that you chose or that you choose to disclose. Transparency is the veracity of the whole story with full disclosure. When you purposefully tell the truth, but still not tell the whole story, that's called manipulation. That is called manipulation. And if there's a quote that's going to challenge us to become better, you all, I think we've already stumbled upon it. It's going to be this quote right here. So let me just give you the backstory to this one. Some of you all know my professional and my academic training. So, you know, some people call me a master of words. I don't know that I'm necessarily a master of words, but I do use words and I enjoy the use of words. So I pay attention to what people say to me. I pay attention to the words that they use. I dissect and I will evaluate words when people use them to me because I want to determine whether or not people are being truthful versus being transparent. You can tell me half of the story and still be truthful. But if you're going to be fair, if you're going to be ethical, if you're going to be honest, if you're going to have integrity, then you're going to tell me the whole story. And I challenge us all as we're going into 2021, you all, let's not brag about telling the truth when we're not being transparent. Transparency means that we tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help us God. And I know a lot of times we would tell half truth if there's such a thing. I want to know if you all think that there's something called that, if there's a true thing called a half truth. Do you all believe in half truths? I want to know. Just put it in the comments and let me know if you believe that there's such a thing as a half truth. But I believe that if we're going to have integrity, you all, that we tell the whole story. Have you ever heard people tell sometimes what could be considered a half truth? I mean, they won't tell the whole story at all. They will tell you the part of the story that they choose to tell. That's what I call a half truth. For example, and I'm going to give you all some examples, and this is not me giving you all an inroads to manipulate people. I'm just giving you some examples. So you all hold on to these, but I want to show you how people can sometimes use their words. And they can use their words a lot of times to hoodwink us and cause us to follow them or to have or to develop a certain trend of thinking or a certain trend of thought when that's not what happens in actuality. I'm going to show you how sometimes people will paint pictures, or at least they would give you the paintbrush so that you can paint a picture and they know what you're painting is not true. I want us not to be caught up in that kind of shenanigans. I want us not to be hoodwinked. I want us to understand what people are doing when they sometimes try to manipulate us. For example, you might have been invited to, or you might have invited to someone to have an event at your home, and you were expecting them to come, but they didn't show up. They didn't show up. So you had an event at your home, you expected them to come, they didn't show up, and they called you the next day to tell you that they started not feeling well. You know, it was just at the, I'm so sorry I didn't make it, but I started not feeling well. That may be very true, but let's be transparent. What do you mean you didn't start feeling well, or you started all of a sudden not feeling well? Come to find out, maybe they just stumped their toe on the coffee table. So it's true, it is true that they started not feeling well, but they didn't tell you that within, 10 seconds, 15 seconds later, the pain died down and they were fine. They didn't show up because they started not feeling well. So that is the truth of the story that they chose to tell. They just didn't tell you that they started feeling fine afterwards. You all, that is called manipulation. Or let me give you another example. Let me give you another example because I want us to be aware. I want us to be sharp in terms of how we analyze the things that people say and the pictures that they paint. I really want us to do that. So I mean, I remember once, you all, I'm going to just share this. I remember once being concerned about a friend who didn't have transportation to work. He'd gotten in a car accident and he kept telling me that he was waiting for his car to be fixed. What he did not tell, so I'm really, so here I go, just really concerned, like, my friend needs to get to work and doesn't have a way to get to work, so I have to take public transportation, all this, maybe I can pick him up, blah, blah, blah. All of this stuff I'm thinking. But what he didn't tell me was that when he got in the accident, he didn't have insurance. What he didn't tell me was that so he got in an accident and he was waiting for the car to be fixed. But what he didn't tell me was that he didn't have insurance. He didn't tell me that he was 3 months behind on the payment and the car was repossessed. So when they discovered the car had been in an accident, it was repossessed. It was repossessed. So there I was concerned about a friend who did not have a way to work. Did you see how people would just paint a picture and they would just tell you a half truth or a half story? I got in an accident and I'm waiting for them to fix the car. You're right. You got in an accident. That's true. Yes, you're waiting for them to fix the car. That's true. But you didn't tell me that you didn't have any insurance. One, you didn't tell me that the car had been repossessed because you were 3, 4, 5 months behind. You all, come on. That's transparency. So you see the difference between truth and transparency? So what am I doing by sharing this tonight, you all? I'm telling you the lesson and the challenge of this quote is not only for us to own our deeds, but to also own our words. We've got to own our deeds, you all, and to own our words. And not only must we own our deeds and our words, but we've got to own the consequences of our words and our deeds. And let's be accountable. As we go into 2021, you all, let's be accountable for whatever we say and do. Let's tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help us God. And that's right. Sometimes we lie by omission. Sometimes we lie by misleading people. Let's tell the truth, you all. Let's not manipulate people. Let's not manipulate people with our words and with words that we don't use. Let's not purposefully mislead people with words. Let's not hand people a green and gold paintbrush when we know the colors are really red and blue. Let's stop bragging about being truthful and lying about being transparent. Absolutely. It is called accountability. I mean, I could just give you so many examples because again, I'm trained to listen to words. I'm trained to dissect words. I'm trained to evaluate words. You tell somebody that you want them to meet you. Hey, can you meet me? Can you meet me tomorrow for lunch or for a meeting? And they say to you, well, tomorrow shows up and then they say, I can't meet you. My coworker died. And it may be true. You all, I'm just trying to help us tonight. It may be true that your coworker died, but that coworker might be your worst enemy. And here you've handed somebody a green and gold paintbrush, and you know the color was red and blue. And you say to them, my coworker died, and I ended up, I was in front of the funeral home, and I couldn't bring myself to go in. When the truth of the matter is, you might be at a funeral home, but the funeral home is at a traffic light. You all, people, come on. We got to do better. And then not only must we do better, you all, but let's not allow ourselves to be hoodwinked by people who try to do that kind of stuff. That is manipulation. I call it trickery and witchcraft. That's what I call it. All right. Listen, you all know I only have 1,800 seconds, and you might have found that somewhat humorous, but I just wanted to share that with us, you all, so that people, when people just brag about the truth, transparency is what's most important. Don't tell me how truthful you are when you can't be transparent. Don't do that. All right, let's keep on going, you all. Let's go on to our quote for January 7th, which is today. You all know we're reading from this book, Billboards to Better, 366 Daily Sources of Motivation, Inspiration along the Highway of Life. Do me a favor if you haven't done so already. Do a thumbs up on the conversation, you all. And you can go over to Amazon.com to get this book. I want to go to January 7th. If this quote doesn't help us, you all listen to this. People don't spend half as much time thinking about you as you spend thinking about what they think of you. Let me read that again. People don't spend half as much time thinking about you as you spend thinking about what they think of you. The lesson, the anecdote says, don't give people that much power over you. Stop wasting mental energy. And you all, I'm telling you, at this point, I wish we could share this conversation right now with 10,000 people. I wish 10,000 people were here so that they can hear that. People don't spend as much time thinking about you as you spend thinking about what they think of you. Don't give people that much power over you. Just don't do it. And this quote may not apply to us who are here tonight, you all, but I'm sure it applies to somebody that we know. So what I want all of us to do, all of us who are here tonight, what I want us to give is the gift to other people. Let's give them a gift. And what we're going to give to them, the gift of reclaiming the power that they gave to others. That's the gift that we're offering tonight, the ability to reclaim the power that you gave to other people. I recently had a conversation, you all, with a friend who had spoken with another friend. And that friend was holding a grudge from 40 years ago, over 40 years ago, when we were teenagers, about things that happened when we were teenagers. And what I found interesting and what I find interesting is that so many times people who hold grudges get stuck and they become stale and they become stagnant, while the people they are holding grudges against never know it and they move on and they prosper in life. You holding a grudge against me from 40, 45 years ago, I've moved on with my life and you're still stuck. Let's not get stuck, you all. Because sometimes we're holding grudges and we're thinking what people think, and they're not even spending time thinking about what we think of them. Not at all. Not at all. Many times, you all, I've seen it happen. Generations of family members will hold grudges against others and will not get along with current generations because of what happened in generations past. And the interesting thing is this: they weren't even alive when the stuff in the past happened. All they know is that, Grandmama Nellie didn't get along with Aunt Charlotte. Aunt Charlotte didn't get along with Aunt Charity. I'm making up names of people in my family, but this is not true, right? But we see this happening. Current generations won't get along with past generations and never know why. So you have grandchildren and great grandchildren who don't speak and they don't even know why. All they know is that a grudge just continued and they don't even know. They don't know why. I'm telling you all, this is the truth. This is the truth. I've discovered that sometimes we make up stuff in our heads that if we only had the courage to face the truth, we will discover that the stories we make up and conjure in our heads don't accurately reflect what happened in life. They just don't. Have you ever sat with someone? I know I've had the occasion to sit with someone, someone who I didn't necessarily talk to on a regular basis, and I decided to just listen. And after listening, you all, this really is a moment of transparency for me. After listening to them, I had to say, I'm so glad I had this conversation with you, because I never knew that. I never knew the truth, the veracity of the thing that you just told me. It helps me to understand that so many times we make up stuff in our heads, and so many times we don't give people the benefit of doubt, nor do we give them the benefit of truth. And we don't give them the opportunity to share truth. But I challenge us all as we go through 2021, you all, let's take back the power that we've given people over us. What am I saying? I'm saying if you are a grudge holder, learn to let stuff go. Learn to let stuff go. Just let it go. I'm telling you all, let stuff go. You're going to end up with high blood pressure. You're going to end up with gout. You're going to end up with anxiety. You're going to end up with some kind of anything and everything because you decided to hold. Listen, I'm telling you this. You're angry with people. No, let it go. There's a biblical quote that says, "Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools." It doesn't say that you can't be angry, but don't be hasty to be angry, and don't allow anger to reside there and harbor there and just stay there and take up residence in your life. Do you know that when anger is in your heart, there is no room for love? You all, I'm telling you, people don't spend as much time thinking about what you think of them. They just don't. They don't. Let's learn to let stuff go. In fact, I'm gonna give you all this one. Let's learn to forgive people even when they don't ask for an apology. Now let that one marinate. I trust that it's really helping somebody tonight. Let us learn to forgive people even when they don't ask for apologies. That is because forgiveness is more about you than it is about the other person. It really is, you all. There is so much power, there's so much freedom when you can forgive. Because when you don't forgive, you held captive and you held bondage and you held bound by the thing that forces you not to forgive. But when you can let it go, forgiveness is like a rope that anchors you. Or unforgiveness is like a rope that anchors you to something. You've got to always remember, what is it that I'm not forgiving him for? What is it that I'm not forgiving her for? And as soon as you let it go, as soon as you forgive, the rope that had you anchored to a thing or to a situation or to a person, as soon as you let that forgiveness go, as you let unforgiveness go and forgive, the rope is almost chopped in half and you can go as far as you want to go. So let's learn, you all. Let's learn to forgive, not so much for them, but so that we can't be anchored to them, so that we can move on. The more we forgive, it helps. You will be more intellectually sound. You will be more emotionally balanced. You will be more, I'm telling you, you will be able to do so much more when you're not anchored to a grudge. How does that even sound anyway? I'm anchored, I'm bound by a grudge of over 40 years. Somebody just type in the chat, let it go. We've got to let stuff go, you all. All right, so I just wanted to share that with you. I wanted to share that with you so people don't spend half as much time thinking about you as you spend thinking about what they think of you. I remember, and I will tell you all this, I remember once my opinion was asked on a subject. Years ago, my opinion was asked on a subject. I gave my opinion and I moved on. And then I realized that there was a woman who stopped speaking to me and her children stopped speaking. And I realized that they stopped speaking. So I finally said one day, well, why did you stop speaking to me? Come to find out, she said, it was because you all listen. When I say that sometimes we make up stuff in our head, listen to this. She said, because of that letter you wrote. And I said, the letter that I wrote, you stopped speaking to me because of the letter that I wrote when my opinion was asked. I had to give an opinion in a conflict resolution sort of setting. And I thought, okay, so I gave my opinion. And later I said, so you stopped speaking because of my opinion. She said, yes. I said, well, did you ever, you all, this is the God's truth. I said, well, did you ever read the letter that contained my opinion? She said, no, but I know some bad stuff was in it. You all, that's the God's honest truth. She had conjured up stuff in her head about what she thought was in the letter, never giving me the benefit of the doubt or the opportunity to speak the truth. People will make up stuff in their heads, you all. So listen, when they make up stuff in their heads about you, you learn to forgive and keep on moving. Don't let anybody anchor you. Don't let anybody unnecessarily hold you down and hold you back. All right, you all, I only have 1,800 seconds and I didn't realize it was going to move so quickly, so I've got to move on to January the 8th, but I hope you all are enjoying this conversation. People will lie about telling the truth. People lie about being transparent in the nature of trying to look like they're telling you the truth. And people don't spend half as much time thinking about you as you spend thinking about what they think of you. I'm telling you, they don't. Then let me go on to January the 8th. That is the quote for tomorrow. And I want to share this with you, and I want you all to get this, because you know we're about being holistically well on this platform, holistically well, emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, all of that. So listen carefully, you all. Don't let your yes to people force you to say no to God. You all know I was focusing totally on spiritual wholeness and wellness when I wrote that, but listen carefully. So listen carefully. Don't let your yes to people force you to say no to God. Got to give you the backstory for that. I've got to make this one make sense, because this, you all, is a reminder for all of us not to get distracted from the things that are most important. Let's not get distracted from purpose, you all. Let's not get distracted from destiny. Let's not get distracted from our goals. Let's not get distracted from our objectives. Let's not get distracted from our mission, because we all have our individual missions and goals and destinies and journeys and purpose, all of that. And so while we're helping other people sometimes, don't help other people so much until you lose sight of the thing that you're called to do and that you're caused to do. Whatever you're doing in this life, don't forget that you have purpose and that you have destiny. And other people's purpose cannot be so paramount in your life until you get distracted from yours. Let me say that again. Other people's purpose cannot become so paramount in your life until you get distracted from yours. Sometimes we seek to build a name, we seek to develop a reputation, but we will get distracted in doing so. I figure if I help so and so, I'll develop a reputation. If I help so and so, I'll build my name. And we end up getting distracted from what we're called to do. I'm not suggesting that we don't help people. Not at all. That is not what I'm suggesting. That is not what I'm offering. I'm not suggesting that we don't partner with people. I'm not suggesting that we don't support people. I'm not suggesting any of that. But what I am suggesting, you all, is this. Don't get so lost in other people until you lose sight of your own priorities, until you lose sight of the things that God created you to do. So busy giving other people a yes until we end up saying no to the things that we were destined and created, designed to do. I'm telling you all, I can't say yes so much to other people until I vicariously end up saying no to the thing that God has assigned my hand to do. Don't let that be your lot in 2021. Not at all. Because don't you know, and I only got 1,800 seconds and just a few, maybe like 900 left or 18 or 180 left or something like that. But you all, don't you know that people will drain you and deplete you and use all of your energy source. And guess what? When you're drained and depleted and have nothing left to give, this is what you will hear. Whatever happened to her? What's wrong with him? What happened to her? What's wrong with him? They were so busy helping you until they forgot to help themselves. And the moment that they forgot to help themselves, guess what? You didn't offer them any help. You all, don't let that be your story. Don't let that be your testimony. I'm telling you all. These would challenge us not to be people pleasers. These would challenge us not to help people, not let other people build their ego so much in you. No, you have purpose, you have destiny, you have objectives, missions, and priorities. Don't say yes so much to other people until you end up saying no and you terminate the things that you were designed to do. You all, this past 1,800 seconds, I hope that you've been challenged. We may have chuckled a bit, but ultimately, I want us to really be inspired to do better and to become better and to become stronger. So what did we talk about tonight? We talked about people who sometimes brag about telling the truth when they lie about being transparent. Don't let people manipulate you. Neither let us be the ones who end up manipulating people. Then we talked about the fact that people don't spend half as much time thinking about us as we spend thinking about what they think of us. So here is a gift. The power, the gift of taking our power back. Sometimes, you all, let me share this with you all before we go. I have said to people, please forgive me. Please forgive me for leading you to believe that you have that much power and influence over my life. That is the power to take back. That's the gift of taking your power back. Forgive me for leading you to believe that you had that much influence over my life. When I tell you that is a powerful statement, that is a powerful forgiveness, that is a powerful apology to offer. If you have to play this one back, somehow share it. Say to people, when you learn to say this, please forgive me for leading you to believe that you have that much power and influence over my life. That is taking your power back, you all. I'm giving you that one for free. Learn to take your power back. And then last, we said, don't let your yes to other people force you to say no to God. Don't do it. I'm going to close by sharing, yes, another poem with you all. I want to close by sharing another poem with you all. It is called In Exchange, and it is in my book titled Who We Once Were. Who We Once Were. Again, it's titled In Exchange. Because what I realize about life is that as we get ready to go, as we're going through 2021, sometimes we're going to have things that we want to give to get other things back. It's okay. You think you're late, but you're just in time. And as I sum this up, life is dynamic. Life is about give and take. So I want to close talking about the give and takes of life. We're giving up some of the not so good on this platform so that we can become better. And so I want you to keep that in mind in exchange. There's something sad about an old dream, something crushing about forgotten hopes. There's something blinding about an unfulfilled prophecy, yet something deadly about not feeling alive. But there's something promising about the sun, something comforting about the moon. There's something inexplicable about new life, yet something merciful and gracious about an old life. You all, I've been here for 1800 seconds. I thank you for sharing this space with me, whatever space it has been. I'm thankful for the opportunity to share that space with you. Go back if you didn't get a chance to join at the beginning. Go back and watch the replay, comment, and let me know that you watched it. In fact, comment after we do this anyway. I love to read your comments. But you all, thank you for this 1800 seconds. Let's meet again next Tuesday right here. Share and let somebody know about the Let's Talk to Cutler program, the Let's Talk to Cutler platform. Also, let them know about this great book, Billboards to Better. I think it's great because you all have told me that it's great. But let's share it with them, you all. And let's meet back here Tuesday, Thursday of each week at 8 o'clock. I'm on live. If this is your first time watching, please make sure that you subscribe. And after you subscribe, click on the bell so that you receive notifications whenever I'm on live and whenever I've uploaded new content. Thank you all. Thank you again. Let's keep on doing what we do. And you all know what we do. And sometimes I'm going to ask you just put it in the comments and say it with me. Let's continue building community. Let's keep on maintaining connectivity. Let's keep our heads up. Let's keep our hopes up, our expectations up. And not only that, but let's stay safe and let us stay sane. Until next Tuesday at 8 o'clock, my love to you all from Let's Talk to Cutler. Good night.